Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Clare Rosoman and I'm a clinical psychologist and certified EFT therapist, supervisor and trainer in training through the International Centre for Excellence in EFT known as ICEFT. Together with Dr. Jennifer Fitzgerald, we're the directors of the Australian Centre for Emotionally Focused Therapy. In this video today, I'm going to look at working with more withdrawn partners in emotionally focused therapy, or EFT for couples. So we're really zooming in today. We're going to be getting into the world of our more withdrawn partners. But if you are looking for more information on what EFT is, or for hints and tips on working with a couple's negative cycle, or for more detailed information on the EFT Tango, which is a set of EFT moves that the therapist follows each session, then I have other videos in this series that might be helpful for you as well. So in talking about working with more withdrawn partners in EFT, I firstly really want to give credit to my three lovely and amazing mentors in my EFT trainer and training program. And they are Catherine Ream, Veronica Callis-Lilly, and Jennifer Fitzgerald. Because these ideas that I'm going to share with you today are a mixture of pearls of wisdom from them, as well as things that I've stumbled upon in my journey from my couples, but also from other trainers, and of course from Sue Johnson, the founder of this wonderful model of therapy. So just to orientate us, we know in our work with couples that distress happens when people get stuck in rigid patterns of interacting, where they send signals to the other that are triggering, and so they each get caught up in defending themselves, and then they can't hear or share the messages of fear and need that might pull the other close. So their attachment bond becomes insecure when they can't reach for each other and respond to the other in soft ways that invite closeness, connection, and sharing. And then distance opens up between them. So we also see in the majority of couples that there's often one more anxiously attached partner who sees closeness, sharing, and talking as the solution to this insecurity in their bond, and one partner who is more avoidantly attached, who sees distance as the solution to the insecurity, who can't see that talking and sharing will help improve things. And that's usually out of fear that it just leads to more conflict. So they get stuck in their positions, and they need our help in EFT to see the stuck pattern and to exit it so that they can create more safety and then co-create a new pattern of connection where they can reach for each other, safe in the knowledge that the other has their back, will respond to them, and will accept them and love them for who they are, warts and all. Isn't that what we all want? So stage one of EFT is all about slowing this pattern, seeing it and exploring what it's really like for each partner, and helping them to step out of those stuck ways of responding to each other. This then allows us in stage two to go deeper into the work of exploring and staying with those more vulnerable places within each partner, and helping them to create a new pattern of risking to reach and share their deepest fears and needs. This is so scary, but once survived, once pain and vulnerability is met with acceptance and care, the attachment bond is then redefined as secure. So in order to help our couples to do this powerful work in stage one and then in stage two of EFT, we need to really be able to immerse ourselves in their experience, to come alongside each partner, to create safety for them, to explore their own inner worlds, and then to risk sharing what they find there with us and then with their partner. Now, it's really important to normalize that as therapists, we all have our own attachment strategies, and we're bound to naturally be able to connect more with either anxiously attached, or also called pursuing partners, or more avoidantly attached, also called withdrawn partners. And I think this is where supervision and self-reflection is so helpful for getting to know our own raw spots and learning edges. And this hard work will then allow us to all lean into the world of the attachment style that maybe feels a bit more foreign to us. This will mean that we can then really attune and come alongside both partners and create safety for both. So the point of this video is to help us to get into the world of the more withdrawn partner in a couple. So let's dig into a withdrawer's world. Firstly, it's important to remember that withdrawing partners have learned to develop an avoidant attachment style for really good reasons. They've learned that turning to others for closeness is either a bad idea, with ideas like, I'll never be met, I'll never be soothed and safe, closeness is dangerous, or maybe it was never an available option. Like no one was ever there for me. I had to cope alone. Often their family system prioritized results over progress, doing over feeling. So emotions may have been rarely shown or talked about. Often they don't recall turning to anyone as a place of comfort and safety to weather emotional storms. So as a function of this, more withdrawing partners have had to manage their emotional world alone. Now, we know that coping alone is a backup strategy. We're wired for connection in order to co-regulate. And co-regulation uses less of our brain's resources, and it's the most efficient way to manage and process strong emotions. Sharing and receiving care and comfort from a trusted other literally lightens the load. Coping alone uses way more energy. So this means that coping with overwhelming emotion is exhausting and will quite quickly exceed your brain's resources. And when we use up all our resources, we get dysregulated. So it makes sense that avoidantly attached people need to find other ways to shut down their emotions, to prevent themselves from becoming overloaded and dysregulated. And to do this, they need to shut down their attachment system, to deny and suppress their emotions and their attachment needs. And they learn to manage their emotions in any way they can to prevent themselves from becoming overwhelmed by them. So this might be by denying or dismissing their feelings, remaining removed from their feelings, or being coolly rational by staying really practical, analytical, logical, or being very problem-solving focused. They might downplay or minimize others' emotional reactions or needs. They might downplay or minimize their own emotions and needs. They might distract themselves with work, hobbies, or anything really, or they might numb their emotions with substances or TV or work or anything really. So it's just so important to remember that this is their best attempt to cope with their emotions, given that using trusted others to co-regulate is not an option to them. It hasn't been an option in their family of origin, and most likely has not felt like an option in their current relationship with their partner. So shutting down feels like the only thing to do. And when we look at conflict from a withdrawer's perspective, we can see that as a result of having to cope alone, emotion becomes threatening. Emotion activates threat, and when we're threatened, we can't feel into another's perspective. We're consumed by our own need to reduce threat. And so therefore, we're going to go into our own familiar patterns of coping. And for an avoidantly attached person, this means denying and suppressing their emotions and turning away from contact with another. So in times of attachment distress, like conflict with a partner, avoidantly attached partners see distance as the solution. They don't see closeness as the solution in the way that maybe more anxiously attached people do. They withdraw because it feels like the best way to protect the relationship from damage and themselves from further hurt and emotional overwhelm. And when emotion seems dangerous, it's risky to direct your attention inwards. Because if you find something scary there, you will have to cope with it alone and you could become overwhelmed. So as Yolanda von Hockhoff says, the more withdrawn partner does not realize that their most powerful resource is their presence. In their cycle, they're likely to have received so many messages of the ways they're getting it wrong with their partner and disappointing them, that it's kind of no wonder that it doesn't look like their presence and care is what their more pursuing partner is crying out for. So the question is, how do we help a withdrawn partner to take new steps? Well, firstly, I think we need to have huge empathy for the good reasons why they've developed the attachment strategies they have. This will help us to come alongside them and to immerse ourselves in their world. we need to really understand what feels unsafe about closeness for them and to really validate that. Catherine Ream helped me see that even asking the question, how do you feel, is threatening, because it takes someone into dangerous and unfamiliar territory where they can feel bound to fail or to become overwhelmed. So to help our withdrawers in this difficult work, it can help to give a little bit of a cognitive map of what we're doing and why. This can get buy-in before someone is able to take a step into the unknown. Also, our confidence that we know that connection is a biological imperative and that we need to connect for regulation and load sharing can really help to show that we know the path in this foreign land and that we're not afraid to go there and clear a path for them to come along with us. So we can create safety for our withdrawers to go deeper by walking with them into their inner world. Sometimes that might mean being prepared to go out on a limb first with tentative conjectures, or being unafraid to name their fear cognitively and experientially. We help them by slowing things down and giving room for a more withdrawn partner to find their words. Veronica Callis-Lilly really helped me to see that we need to allow more time than we think to give a withdrawn partner the time and the space to find their words. So we take an unhurried approach, exploring the terrain of the inner landscape until something comes alive in them. And then we help them by taking small steps into those experiences, staying there and hovering. We might use some evocative questions like, what's happening inside for you right now? And where do you feel that in your body? Can we go slow with that? Can you stay with that? Can you make room for those experiences? Can you let yourself touch that and be with that feeling? How is it for you to be with that sensation right now? And what is it like to share that piece with me in this moment? So we want to eke every drop out of small expressions of emotion, and we want to be sure to reward small steps with lots of validation of the enormity of even going there. Catherine says, this is so hard and new, and it's an important step that you're taking on your relationship's behalf. I really like that. It's so important to remember that any time spent in contact with this emotion without reverting to old and obsolete coping strategies of withdrawing or avoiding is a really big win and a huge step. It can also really help in this work to elicit an invitation from the more pursuing partner. Something like, how would it be for you to know more about Bob's inner world? This can really help to bolster the more withdrawn partner to take the risk to share. And you could even ask the more pursuing partner to enact this as an invitation. This was something that in Catherine Ream's research into withdrawer re-engagement was found to be really key in helping the process of a withdrawer engaging. So in our stage 1 work, we aim to help a more withdrawn partner to make contact with their inner world and to share it with their partner in small enactments that represent small steps out of the stuck pattern. We keep these enactments small and thinly sliced. We go with where the client is in the moment, and we don't force the enactment of the biggest fear straight away. That would just yank the window of tolerance open rather than gently stretching it. We want people to test the process of sharing with smaller fears to gradually build empowerment and lasting change. So we process between each enactment and hold the listening partner in a space where they can be open to hearing, to being more accepting of the reach, and can maybe own their own blocks that could arise without blaming. So these reaches and responses become deeper as couples move from stage 1 into stage 2 of the EFT model. In stage 2, Catherine's research on the process of withdrawal re-engagement teaches us that the depth of emotional experiencing is vital for limbic revision and for this to be a lasting change event. And she says that engagement happens incrementally, like a drip, drip, drip process over 3 to 5 sessions rather than a watershed moment. She says it's more iterative, and incremental. But she stresses that the depth of experiencing of the inner world is key to whether this leads to lasting change. So we want to go deep to stretch the window of tolerance and to create muscle memory. That sense of, I've been here before and survived, so I can go there again. I can find my way there and I can find my way back. As withdrawn partners become engaged, we begin to see that they can access their inner world more easily and they can track and follow their own emotion. They can feel it and they can tap into the innate wisdom of their emotional world. They're then more easily able to turn and share their inner world with their partner and to ask for their attachment needs. This is the opposite of turning inwards with their feelings and suppressing their attachment needs. So this, along with their partner reaching vulnerably towards them as well, it creates a new pattern of interaction where there is mutual risk and reassurance, safety and connection. So I hope that this video might help you to get into the world of your more avoidantly attached clients and to come alongside them as they discover more about their inner world and risk sharing it with their partner to strengthen their bond. Feel free to check out our website of www.aceft.com.au for more information on EFT, and thanks for watching.